tear just came down, and she said, to be living in times that we're living in right now, we need to do better. And this needs to be a moment in time where we really get on the same page and start to just look at our situation and condition, because we need to do better. And for me, that resonates because that's the whole purpose of a better Black America. It's not me. It's not the Bouchon Glover movement. Or nah, this is something that could be rival the Salvation Army, the YMCA. This is something that we can leave our children's children. The Bible says good men and good women leave their children's an inheritance. There's something that we have to leave here. So when she said that, I was like, wow, we do. And this is why I'm saying the distraction, podcasting every day about Biden and Harris. And, there's going to have to be a shift and some type of balance where we need to deal with our social issues and really understand why this is very important that we understand and be fully involved in the politics, because the politics is how these things take place. So you follow the money, and then you follow the lack of education. And then there's two parallels where you can, run the biggest scam on the planet. And I agree with Miss Grisby. I agree with her 100%. We all need to do better, and we all need to pour into the youth and to our children and to these babies, because if you got 100 people involved, and I'm not saying that there was no males, no boys involved, but what it looks like, it was a incident that was just 100% female, that was agitated and called out by a female on campus. So the female is literally responsible, because just imagine if this was a gangbang situation and a man went up there and said, hey, homie, just watch yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't get socked out on the quad, nigga. And then next thing you know, it wouldn't be 100. It'd be 4 men shot, 10 people involved in a fight. But see, when you kill us, you're killing off legacies. You're killing off babies. You're killing off the future. It's a genocide type situation. But when you're dealing with the females, they just fighting. But this is something that we can all understand, because I'm going to do a video on it. I'm going to do and post it, a video, and post it on my YouTube channel Friday, depicting it. I'm going to get a little more intel, and I'm going to reach out to Jim. Yeah, I saw my man on TV, dealing with the Crenshaw Brawl. I had the Crenshaw gear on and everything. And I'm sure, that Washington General, you never thought that you would be over there at the Shaw involved in a brawl. Wow. It's crazy. We got to do better. But since we understand that, we really have to pay close attention. And this is why understanding the science of Willie Lynch is very important and very imperative, because be on the lookout for the Willie Lynch, Surviving Willie Lynch podcast, because this is something that's groundbreaking. And like I said, nothing that I do, is that has not been already validated. If you're going to debunk anything that I'm talking about, go to the Ivy Leagues, go to Harvard, North or South, and see what's real. Because that Ivy League know what's going on, because the Harvard Society is real. So when you talk about Ivy League schools, Yale, Columbia, Brown, the whole Ivy League system, that's where all our legislators come from, our politicians, and most of our sitting presidents. Even Donald Trump went to Penn. People don't understand that. And he went to one of the most prestigious business schools on the planet, business schools. And Biden went to junior college. Well, my bad. His wife is a junior college professor. So look, the science goes back literally to Willie Lynch. So this is what we're talking about. If we got a president, we're dealing in a crisis with all these gas prices. We got a president calling it the Putin Gas Hike. Man, it's really time for us to move on and get on board with our above the ground railroad. Because Harriet Tubman had the underground railroad in which they were actually hiding, trying to escape. But in this situation, there's no one stopping us or hindering us from doing what we need to do, because there's no one going to clear the path for us but us. Just like dealing with the Crenshaw Brawl, 100 females fighting on a high school campus motivated by someone's mother in plain sight on video. The Willie Lynch. We will make the science of it. Make the men weak and feeble-minded and tar and feather them and all of that. But we're going to talk about the woman part of the Willie Lynch. Because the mother is so afraid of her son getting killed or whatever psychologically, she raises the mother. This is the Willie Lynch science. The mother raises the children in reverse roles, teaches the daughter to be independent, aggressive. And when we do this, this can go on for hundreds, if not thousands of years. So if you look at social media, or if you look at the world, look at the 94 crime bill. When Hillary Clinton said we needed to be brought to heel, we was a ultra aggressive society. Murder rate is up now, but homicides was up back then. Crack was in. And we got to understand we're dealing with crack babies and crack descendants. This is, it's a whole bunch of, we don't know what's really going on. But my point is, look at the science. They need to be brought to heel. 3 strikes and you out. So they literally threw the book at us. So if that's a pattern, we don't want the book thrown at our girls, at our communities again. So this is why I'm saying we got to get in front of this. So the science is real. The science is real. Joe Biden says, follow the science. The science is real. Because the science of Willie Lynch also says when you get mammy, when you get, your biracial children in the house with you, you'll be able to sleep at night. Because when it was just you and your wife and you was the only one in there, you was fearing that these Negroes was going to revolt and run up in there and burn you while you sleep. And the science says you sleep while they're woke. And while they woke, while you sleep while they're woke, and when they woke, you sleep. Like reversed. But when you got the biracial children in the house, when you got, you let the mammy come on up in the house, yeah, they're going to look out for you. And this is why if you look at the Democratic cabinet, that's the science that they follow to a T. You got all these women holding it down for a party that held men down as slaves and them down as slaves and raped them. But I know, we shouldn't be, being harsh about it, but that's what it is. But we know that. But this is why looking at the president lie and calling the gas prices here in America and blaming them on Putin. No, you are 100% responsible for stopping gas and oil production here. And is on record saying he wants to completely eliminate the production of fossil fuel, which made people really invest into green. I sold my gas stock, got into the green, and now I'm looking at it like, wait a minute, oil is so high. Look, man, come on. We got played and duped. And he's talking about now, if we ever start producing here, that's against what he ran for. And it's sad that we may never even get an opportunity to do that. Because now, if whoever controlled these semiconductors, they could just force us to go electric completely. So we really don't know. But enough of that. What about this above the ground railroad? Above the ground. We don't have to hide. We don't have to wade in the water. We don't have to be still. We could just move on. The science of Willie Lynch is real. Crenshaw Brawl. Science of Willie Lynch. Raised in reverse roles where the women will be aggressive. It was times where we used to have brawls. Men, before the guns, before all that, football teams used to scrap. I mean, back in the day, we was raised, used to watch Fonzie and Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley. And, there would be gangs. There would be brawls. Brawls at parties. But until, they start pulling that steel, they shut that down. People don't fight no men, don't fight no more. So we don't even know how to be tough. Instead of, being in the backyard slap boxing, their faces is on the phone, squinting, because they are focused on some gadgets that they put in the atmosphere that made it addictive by every human. Sometimes it's hard to stop, checking your phone and checking news and trying to be on top of stuff, even if you don't play the video games. Because some people might, be distracted playing video games or whatever, but you might be researching all night. It's kind of like just being on the computer. But this above the ground railroad, that's our path. And it goes through nonpartisan independent. And to understand the differences between liberalism and being conservative. 99.9% of heterosexual men are conservative, just by definition. The Republican Party is a conservative political organization, but you have far right, which is radical. So being conservative is like really kind of in the middle. Like being a moderate, like you in the middle, you understand that we need social issues and we need taxation to keep things, moving smoothly, or to keep things running the way that they have been running. And then you have the capitalist side, because even Joe Biden slapped the socialist movement and the conservative movement in the face when he said, "I'm a capitalist." A capitalist is a Republican too. But just because you are a capitalist doesn't mean you're a Republican. A capitalist is basically a business owner who's capitalizing on free enterprise. So this is why we don't have to be afraid. Just like black used to be a bad word. Black used to be a bad word. They didn't like the word black. But if you look and really think about it, black is the best color to exist. If you're rich, you get a black card. A black card. Not just the color black, but it means something. If you want the best car, you're going to call the black car service. And if you want to be, add something behind that, black excellence. If you want your coffee straight with no chaser, you want it black. If you want it strong, you want it black. The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. So we're taking that back and embracing it because it was demonized by us. And then somehow they changed us to something else. But if we stick to just our blackness, that's pretty much put us in the race games because we have a gold medal sitting there. And I used to say we was the bronze or silver, but my spiritual inclination is telling me we have the bronze. We have the gold medal. We have the gold medal. Let's make that straight. We have the gold medal. White America or the Aryans worldwide have the silver. The Asian Mongolians have the bronze. But this is the thing. We have not been championed because to get our gold medal, we have to go past the Chinese, Japanese, and all the Mongolians and past the Aryans, because they having a war right now, this racial, whatever they're doing, to get to our gold. Because when I say this, it's not racial, That's what I'm trying to say. Because in Ukraine, what is that? White on white.